The alarm. 6 a.m. It's not a sound, but a vibration that ripples through the dark, through your pillow, and into the base of your skull. For a single, pristine moment, there is nothing. Just the silence between sleep and consciousness. In this moment, you are a blank slate. Your mind is a calm, undisturbed lake. You have absolute potential. You are the sovereign of your own mind. And then it happens. Your hand, moving with a will of its own, a reflex drilled into your nervous system, through thousands of repetitions, slides across the nightstand. It's not reaching to silence the alarm and rise to meet the day. It's searching for the cold, smooth glass of the glowing screen. That is the moment. The first choice of your day, and arguably the most important one you will make. It is the moment you voluntarily surrender your sovereignty. The moment you abdicate the throne of your own mind and hand the crown to a machine. With a single swipe, you plug your brain, still soft and porous from sleep, directly into the chaos matrix. You inject your consciousness with a torrent of digital noise before you've had a single, original thought of your own. This is not a benign act. It is a declaration of submission. You are allowing the anxieties of the world, the curated perfection of strangers, the manufactured outrage of the news cycle, and the urgent, yet unimportant, demands of others to become the very first occupants of your mental space. 99% of people do this. They begin their day not by choice, but by reaction. They wake up and immediately tether themselves to an engine designed with a single purpose: to hijack their attention. They start their day as a consumer, a passive receptacle for whatever the algorithm decides to feed them. Their emotional state is set not by their own intentions, but by a headline. Their priorities are shaped not by their goals, but by an email notification. They begin their precious, unrepeatable day as a slave, a willing slave to a screen, a servant to a stream of information that cares nothing for their well-being, their focus, or their purpose. But the 1%. They understand a fundamental law of human psychology. They know that the first 60 minutes of the day are not just minutes on a clock. They are the rudder for the entire day. They are the leverage point. While the masses are drowning in a sea of digital distraction, the 1% are in a quiet room, forging their armor. They understand that true power, true freedom, begins with owning your own mind. And you cannot own your mind if the first thing you do is give it away. They seize that first hour. They guard it with a ferocity you would reserve for a priceless treasure, because that is precisely what it is. They don't just experience their morning, they architect it. They build a fortress of focus and intention, while the rest of the world is willingly walking into a cage. This broadcast is not for them. This is for the person who just felt a shock of recognition. The person who is tired of feeling reactive, unfocused, and perpetually behind. This is for the man who is done being a slave. You tell yourself it's harmless. The words form in your mind, a quiet, reasonable justification for the surrender. I'm just waking up, you whisper to the part of you that knows this is wrong. I need to check the news, be informed. I'm just seeing what my friends are up to, staying connected. This is the great lie of the modern age. A lie so pervasive, so deeply embedded in our daily ritual, that we mistake its poison for water. Let's be brutally honest with each other. You are not, quote 3. You are mainlining a digital anesthetic. You are choosing to numb the very part of your brain that calls you to action. The part that whispers of your potential, your duties, your ambitions. That first scroll is a deliberate act of silencing your own inner commander. You are not waking up. You are choosing to stay asleep, wrapped in a comfortable, glowing cocoon of distraction, while the most valuable moments of your day bleed away. You are not, quote, for. You are voluntarily submitting to a psychological bombardment engineered to hijack your emotional state. Before you have even decided how you want to feel, you allow a corporation to choose for you. They will choose outrage. They will choose fear. They will choose anxiety. Why? Because these emotions are the currency of attention. A calm, focused, and determined mind is a terrible customer. But a mind in a state of agitation, a mind that feels it is missing out or under threat, is a mind that will keep scrolling, keep clicking, keep consuming. You are not becoming informed. You are allowing your emotional state for the entire day to be set by a headline written by someone whose only goal is to steal a fraction of your life. You are starting your day in a defensive crouch, reacting to a world of chaos they have manufactured for your consumption. And you are most certainly not, quote, 5. You are consuming a meticulously curated highlight reel of their lives, a form of psychological self-harm that we have normalized as connection. You lie there in the quiet vulnerability of your first waking moments, and you watch a distorted reality flicker past your eyes. Someone's perfect vacation, someone's new promotion, someone's flawless family photo. And what does your brain do? It does what it is wired to do. It compares. It measures your unfiltered reality against their polished fiction. This isn't connection. It is a scientifically proven formula for envy, dissatisfaction, and a gnawing sense of inadequacy. Every morning you do this, you chip away at your own self-worth. You weaken your mental armor, making it more susceptible to the inevitable challenges and setbacks the day will bring. You are training your brain through thousands of repetitions to seek the path of least resistance, to crave the cheap, fleeting dopamine hit of a notification over the deep, lasting satisfaction of accomplishment. You are starting your day as a passive consumer, a spectator in your own life. You are voluntarily walking into a trap, a meticulously designed digital cage built by the most brilliant psychological engineers in the world. Their job, their entire career, is to understand your weaknesses better than you do, and to build systems that exploit them. And every morning, you hand them the keys. This battle you fight at dawn, this silent war between your higher self and the impulse for easy comfort, is not new. It is as old as humanity itself. The tools of distraction have changed, but the fundamental weakness they exploit has not. To understand how to win this war, we must look to a man who fought it on the grandest scale imaginable. Nearly 2,000 years ago, the most powerful man on the planet woke up before sunrise. He was not a tech CEO or a modern celebrity. He was the Roman Emperor, Marcus Aurelius. The fate of 100 million souls rested on his shoulders. He faced plagues, barbarian invasions, and endless political betrayals. Now, ask yourself, what do you think his first action of the day was? Did he summon a servant to hear the latest gossip from the Senate? Did he read dispatches detailing the public's opinion of him? No. He did something far more powerful. He commanded himself. In a private journal, never meant for publication, a book we now know as, quote, 6, he wrote instructions for his own mind. He was forging his own mental state before the world could impose its chaos upon him. He was the master of his own morning. Listen to his words, a direct command written from his stronger self to his weaker self. He wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for? The things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for? To huddle under the blankets and stay warm? Let those words sink in. He recognized the pull of comfort, the desire to stay under the warm blankets. He gave that weakness a voice, and then he crushed it with logic and purpose. Your phone, that glowing screen you reach for, is the modern warm blanket. It offers the illusion of comfort. It offers the warmth of distraction, of mindless scrolling, of seeing what others are doing, so you don't have to think about what you must do. It is the enemy of your duty. It is the adversary of your purpose. Each time you choose the screen over the struggle of rising, you are telling yourself that your comfort is more important than your calling. You are choosing to remain a subject, not a ruler. This is the Stoic Law of Authority. The law is brutally simple. Your day, and therefore your life, begins with a declaration of who is in charge. Is it you, or is it the algorithm? Is it your internal compass, or the tide of external notifications? The Stoics understood that true power, true freedom, is not the ability to do whatever you want. It is the authority to do what you must. It is internal dominion. Marcus Aurelius didn't need to check what others thought of him. He needed to command what he thought of himself. He began his day with purpose, not passivity. He engaged in his duty to himself before he engaged in his duties as an emperor. This is the fundamental shift you must make. Your addiction to that morning device is not just a bad habit. It is an abdication of your personal sovereignty. You are willingly handing the keys to your own mind over to forces that do not care about your well-being, your focus, or your mission. They care only about your attention. The Stoic Law is a reclamation of that authority. It is the understanding that the first moments of consciousness are the most sacred. They are the fertile ground where the seeds of victory or defeat for the day are sown. By choosing purpose over passivity, duty over distraction, you are not just winning the morning. You are declaring to yourself and to the world that you are in command. The question is no longer whether you feel motivated. The only question is, what does your duty require? And how do we build the system that ensures we answer that call every single time? So you understand the enemy. You recognize the warm digital blanket for what it is, a cage. But understanding is not enough. Insight without action is merely a more sophisticated form of passivity. It is time to move from philosophy to execution. It is time to build your mental armor. What follows is not a list of helpful tips or friendly suggestions. This is a protocol, a non-negotiable set of laws you will implement to reclaim your sovereignty, starting tomorrow. These are your new standing orders. Law 1. The Law of Proximity. Tonight, your phone does not sleep in your bedroom. It will be charged in another room, the kitchen, the living room, anywhere but within arm's reach. This is the single most important tactical decision you will make. Willpower is a finite and unreliable resource, especially in the groggy moments between sleep and consciousness. By removing the object of temptation, you eliminate the need for willpower entirely. You are redesigning your environment to make discipline the path of least resistance. Go and buy a $5 alarm clock. This cheap piece of plastic is not a clock. It is a declaration of independence. Law 2. The Law of the First Action. When that alarm sounds, your feet hit the floor. Immediately. There is no negotiation. No debate with the weaker self that begs for 5 more minutes. The physical act of moving from a horizontal to a vertical position is a primal signal to your brain. It says, we are active. We are in command. This single, non-negotiable action short-circuits the entire cycle of lethargy and procrastination before it can begin. Before your conscious mind can invent an excuse, your body has already obeyed the command. You win the first battle of the day without a single thought. Law 3. The law of the 60-minute sanctum. The first hour of your day, from the moment your feet hit the floor, belongs to you and you alone. It is a sacred, protected space. There will be no screens, no email, no news feeds, no social media, no input from the outside world. This is not empty time. It is the forge. It is the time you use to build the mind that will face the day. The 99% begin their day by reacting to the world's demands. You will begin yours by creating your own. Law 4. The law of physical priming. Within the first 10 minutes of waking, you will reconnect with the physical reality of your body. First, you will drink a full glass of water. Your brain and body are dehydrated after hours of sleep. This is the most basic act of self-maintenance. Then, you will perform a physical act that demands effort. Push-ups until you feel the burn. A set of squats. Or, for the truly committed, a 1-minute cold shower. This is not about fitness. It is about state change. It jolts your nervous system awake, floods your body with oxygen, and reminds you that you are a physical being, not a disembodied consciousness floating through a digital world. Law 5. The law of intentional input. If you are to consume information in your sanctum, it must be that which strengthens, not that which distracts. Read one page from a Stoic text, like Meditations. Review the written goals you have set for your life. This act calibrates your mental compass. It sets your internal narrative for the day, reminding you of your principles and your purpose before the noise of the world can impose its own narrative upon you. Law 6. The law of the void. For 3 minutes, you will do absolutely nothing. Sit in a chair, stare at a wall, and simply observe. You will feel a frantic, desperate impulse to grab your phone, to check something, to fill the silence. Your mind has been trained for constant stimulation, and it will rebel against the void. Do not fight this impulse. Observe it. Watch it rise, and watch it fade. This is you, in real time, rebuilding your attention span from the ground up. You are teaching your brain that you are the one who decides where your focus goes. Law 7. The law of the written mandate. Take a piece of paper and a pen. Write down the one single, critical task that you must accomplish today to consider the day of victory. Just one. This act of writing it down transforms it from a vague idea into a concrete mission. It provides clarity and a singular target for your focus. Law 8. The law of the delayed reward. Your phone is a powerful tool, but it must become a tool, not a toy. A servant, not a master. You will earn the right to use it. That right is earned only after you have completed your entire morning protocol and your one critical task for the day. This simple rule fundamentally rewires your brain's reward system. It shifts the power dynamic, proving to yourself through action that you control your devices. They do not control you. You have been given the laws. You have been shown the cage you were unknowingly living in. And now you stand at a precipice, a choice. But let's be clear, this is not a choice between two equal options. It is a choice between continuing a life of quiet servitude and seizing the authority that is rightfully yours. You have 24 hours until your next sunrise. This protocol is not a suggestion to be considered. It is not a helpful tip to be tried when you feel motivated. It is your new reality, effective immediately. Tomorrow morning, the change is absolute. There is no negotiation with the part of you that craves comfort. There is no debate with the voice that whispers, "Just 5 more minutes." That voice is not your friend. It is the architect of your mediocrity. It is the warden of your self-imposed prison. And its reign ends at dawn. For years, you have tried to reason with this weaker self. You've tried to motivate it, to bargain with it. You have told it, "Tomorrow, I'll be better. Tomorrow, I'll be disciplined." And every single morning, it has betrayed you. It has convinced you to trade your long-term power for a fleeting moment of warmth under the blankets, for a cheap hit of dopamine from a glowing screen. Why? Because motivation is a feeling, and feelings are fickle. They are traitors in the war for your will. A protocol, a command, is different. It does not ask for your opinion. It does not care if you are tired or inspired. It is a law. It is a system that bypasses the weakness of feeling and relies on the strength of action. When the alarm sounds, you will not consult your feelings. You will execute the protocol. Your transformation from the 99% to the 1% does not begin with a grand gesture. It does not require a lottery win or a sudden epiphany. It begins with the quiet, solitary discipline of the first alarm. It begins when you choose the cold floor over the warm bed. It begins when you choose a glass of water over a stream of digital noise. This is the foundational act of self-respect. It is the signal you send to your own subconscious that you are no longer a passenger. You are the pilot. The first hour of your day is the most sacred territory you possess. Forfeiting it to a tech company is an act of treason against your own potential. Reclaiming it is your first victory in a war you have been losing for far too long. This is not about becoming a machine. It is about becoming a master. The machine is the device in your hand, expertly engineered to hack your primal brain. The mastery comes from understanding that system and choosing to operate outside of it, to use the tool only when you have earned the right to. The initial moments of this new discipline will feel like a void. Your mind, addicted to constant input, will scream for its fix. It will invent urgent reasons to check your phone. It will manufacture anxiety. This is the withdrawal. This is the poison leaving your system. And in that void, in that silence, you will find something you have lost. Your own thoughts, your own priorities, your own will. You will feel the ground beneath your feet and the air in your lungs, and you will remember that you are a physical being, not a digital ghost. So, this is your final command. This is your moment to draw a line in the sand, not just for us, but for yourself. To signal that you have received and understood this command, that you are ready to enlist in your own liberation, go to the comments section right now and write the following 4 words. My morning is mine. This is not just a comment, it is a contract. It is a public declaration of war on weakness. It is your first act of the new protocol. Let that be the last thing you type before you put the phone away tonight, and the first principle you live by when you wake tomorrow. Execute the protocol. Subscribe for your next tactical briefing.